Arizona Veterans Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix. It's Golden Bay Earthquakes indoor soccer. Tonight, the Earthquakes meeting the division-leading Phoenix Inferno. Hello, everybody. John Miller, along with John Schrader, bidding you welcome to our telecast of Earthquakes soccer. When last we spoke with you 8 days ago, the Earthquakes were involved in a game against the defending Western Division champion St. Louis Steamers, and they played a scintillating game that night and came out victorious 6-4. Well, tonight they meet the current Western Division leaders, the Phoenix Inferno, coached by former Earthquakes star Antonio Simoes, and this is a ball club which is presenting an important task for the Earthquakes because it's a divisional foe, and they're starting a string of divisional games, and Roger Thompson spoke of that earlier.
Well, we've got a very important game tonight with Phoenix. They're obviously coming off a very good win from last night, beating San Diego Sockers. So it's important that we do well here tonight. But we believe we can, because the last time we were away from home was in St. Louis, and we did exceptionally well there, and the atmosphere is going to be very similar to that. And it's an important week for us, because tonight we start with Phoenix, and then we follow up with San Diego at home next week on Wednesday night when Julie V will be in town. Ron Newman's here tonight scouting us, so he's obviously going to try and pick up a few points. And then next Saturday we have a very good, important game against L.A. in L.A. So very important week for us, Johnny.
Coach Roger Thompson of the Earthquakes, an important game for him tonight. With us again, John Schrader, the sports director of TV 36. John, meeting the divisional leaders, and they have something perhaps to prove to themselves tonight.
Well, they have to prove that they can play better than they did last night against the Memphis Americans, and also prove that they can move up on the ladder a little bit. The Phoenix Inferno, the only team in the Western Division with a winning record. They play San Diego in Oakland next Wednesday night. San Diego is in second place in the division. Kansas City also playing tonight, so an important game for the Golden Bay Earthquakes to win tonight to keep edging a little bit closer to the Western Division top spot.
We'll tell you a little bit about the Phoenix Inferno as well as the Golden Bay Earthquakes when our telecast continues after this. Just moments away from getting started here in Phoenix, the 7th game of the year for the Earthquakes, the 9th game of the year for Phoenix. And, John, this Earthquakes ball club will get a new look in goal tonight from what we've been seeing.
Well, one thing that's very important in the Major Indoor Soccer League is to have two solid goalkeepers. You have a 48-game season. Tonight, Bill Irwin makes his third straight start for the Earthquakes. He is 1-1 with a 4.00 goals against average. He defeated Kansas City on Wednesday night, lost 6-4, lost last night to Memphis 4-3. He's big, he's solid, he gets outlet passes out very well, and although he hasn't played a whole lot of indoors, he is a very solid player.
Tony Crescitelli, the forward, has been very hot the last few games.
Well, in the last 4 games, he has 4 goals and 6 assists, and along with Ingram, Dangerfield, and Goosens, they present a very formidable front line for the Earthquakes. Crescitelli last year scored 26 goals, had 7 assists in an 18-game NASL season. He can score, and he's proving that he can dish out those assists to 3 very powerful forward strikers.
Now, this is a new game to a lot of Earthquakes players, but tonight a new game for the Phoenix goalkeeper.
The Phoenix goalkeeper tonight is Alfredo Agnello. He has never played an indoor game, MISL or NASL. Spent a couple of years outdoors with the Los Angeles Aztecs. He has not played this year at all. Blagi Tomazic was supposed to start tonight. We expected him to start. He has played 491 of 493 minutes this season for Phoenix, so apparently there's no injury there. It's just Tomazic is tired, and Agnello will get the start.
And the Quakes will have to watch out for old friend, former teammate, Steve David.
Steve David has 12 points this year on 9 goals and 3 assists, and he'll be hurting a little bit up front because of a couple of injuries. Ruben Astagaraga is not going to play tonight because of an ankle injury, and Damir Shutevsky will not play tonight for the Inferno, 2 of their best people up front, so David might have to pitch in with a little extra load.
Sit back, relax. The Earthquakes meet the division leaders, the Phoenix Inferno. Will have the kickoff.
It's new, totally different. The action is awesome. It's Earthquakes indoor soccer at the Oakland Coliseum Arena, like a life-sized arcade game. The excitement is non-stop. The scoring is non-stop. It's off-the-wall action as the Golden Bay Earthquakes play a new game on a field that is half the size and the action twice as fast. Order your tickets now. Call 408-946-5020. Earthquakes indoor soccer. It's awesome.
From the Phoenix Coliseum, moments away from the kickoff now, as the Golden Bay Earthquakes playing their third game in the last 4 nights, meeting the division leaders, the Phoenix Inferno. The Earthquakes will be wearing their traveling uniforms with the white jerseys, and Phoenix with first-time goaltender Aniello, Alfredo Aniello in goal, will be wearing, with his exception, their honeybee-like uniforms. The look of the lineups: Alfredo Aniello in goal, John Gorman, Willie Watson, John McDermott, Oscar Albuquerque, and Leroy De Leon. De Leon, a former Earthquakes player. Bill Irwin in goal, with Mike Hewitt still suffering the effects of that hamstring injury. Subir, Raduca, Etherington, Dangerfield, and Goosens. This is Goosens, number 10. Sends it out in front. Dangerfield has it. Bangs it for Etherington over his head. And Phoenix has it. McDermott, number 11. Born in Hong Kong. Looking for De Leon near the goal area. Raduca with him, number 26. Now this is Oscar Albuquerque. Irwin has a look at the Phoenix Inferno bench. Phoenix has been sub-500 in the last 2 years. Off to an excellent start this year. Stephen David, number 7, eked himself out that time, and Powell bangs it off the board, but David gets it. Phoenix on the attack. Parchment goes around Crescitelli, drops it off in the right wing, nobody there. So both teams missing connections here early. Etherington the other way. Crescitelli and Ingram up front. Etherington to the middle. Fires! Save! Rebound, Crescitelli. Lost it in the corner. D'Souza clears to David. Wide of the net. Loose in front. Carlin, number 10, has the Quakes with a breakdown of the back line. And it cost them a goal.
The play actually started back here. It flies back out into the box. Curlin gets the rebound from Irwin and stays right with it. Just sticks it right in the middle of the open net. The Raduca too late there, and the fires blaze in front of the goal.
Curlin with his second goal of the year. Hasn't even really been playing that much. But he got an opportunistic goal there. And the Earthquakes, with a breakdown of the back line, a poor clearance, and it cost them a goal. Coming at 13:05 over the first quarter. Minute 40 to go now, first quarter, and Phoenix has drawn ahead 1-0. Dangerfield to Hunter. Hunter works it into the zone. Goosens in front. And a foul on Goosens. Aniello pulled it off the glass that time, and Goosens got the foul. Anatol Popovich right there, the senior referee tonight. Gino DiPolito is the other referee. Minute 22 to go, first quarter. Ron Newman, the coach of the San Diego Sockers, here tonight. We're hoping to chat with Ron Newman at halftime about his ball club, the explosive San Diego Sockers, who will be at the Coliseum Arena this coming Wednesday night. 8 o'clock, Julie V. Great score. Addie Coker's had a big year so far. Here's a steal, and Goosens has it in front for Dangerfield. Shot wide. Goosens shot. Saved off the line. Goosens claiming that Aniello was behind the goal line, but the red light did not go on. Here comes Miller on a counterattack, and Irwin is off his line to clear it. Now the Quakes coming down again. The Earthquakes nearly scoring a moment ago. Long ball cleared back to center. Raduca looking for Goosens, forcing it in, intercepted by Phoenix. Here's David now. Raduca clears it. Back to Miller. Miller brings it in. Puts it in front. Nobody goes after it. Irwin to Goosens. Goosens ahead for Dangerfield. Back is Gorman. Back to Goosens. 2-on-2. Here comes Jan. Fires, shot, knocked down. Aniello clears it out. Goosens lost the attempted chest crack. Miller for Phoenix. He's got Albuquerque open in the left wing. Goes to him. Shot just wide. Albuquerque was wide open. Nobody picked him up. 7 seconds left in the quarter. Strenitzer at center. 4 seconds. Look out. Dangerous ball off the left board, and that's the quarter. The division-leading Phoenix Inferno has the lead after 1. It's Phoenix 1. The Earthquakes nothing. Back for the second quarter momentarily. In the lead, 1-0. John Miller and John Schrader with you tonight. And Phoenix scoring a very opportunistic goal here. A breakdown of the back line. Here's, you don't see the breakdown, but it was a poor clearance. And number 10, Curlin, took advantage of it.
Irwin did as much as he could to try and stop Curlin from momentum toward the goal, and he just couldn't do it, and the rebound was there. Curlin gets the goal, his second of the year in little playing time. Peter Miller's 6th assist of the year to go along with 8 goals as the best point total on the team. A couple of exciting games coming up next week in the Oakland Coliseum Arena. The Golden Bay Earthquakes Wednesday night against the San Diego Sockers, one of the highest scoring and most talented clubs in the Major Indoor Soccer League. 8 o'clock Wednesday night. You can call right now for tickets, 408-946-5020 or 415-632-6000 to see San Diego on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock in the Coliseum Arena, or the Cleveland Force, first-place team in the Eastern Division, 2:30 Sunday afternoon in the Coliseum Arena. Their phone numbers again, 408-946-5020 and 415-632-6000. Operators on duty right now.
That San Diego team is indeed explosive. They just went through a string of games where they were scoring in double figures almost every night. Addie Coker, Vidal Fernandez, Julie V at the top of the list, but they've got half a dozen players who can hurt you. Earthquakes had a couple of chances in that first quarter as well, and here's a good one. Jan Goossens taking the shot, and Aniello just got back to knock it off the line. And you see Goossens there. He thought that Aniello's foot was behind the goal line. But just as in hockey, there was a goal judge sitting right behind each goal, and he is the only and final authority.
I think Goossens thought maybe the ball bounced off the side of the red border on the goal, and there is a judge there, and the red light goes on if it's a score, and Goossens pleaded, but obviously to no avail.
Crescitelli, Ingram, and Hunter on the front line with Powell and Litt on the back line. It's a Phoenix kickoff. Phoenix moving from right to left as you right. There's Albuquerque left. Now Spencer back at center to Curlin. Curlin off the board, loose in front. De Leon keeps it open. Screened that time and did not see it coming. The shot had nothing on it, but Phoenix leads 2-0.
Mike Hunter tried to get back onto the field with the substitution. Etherington left, and Hunter tried to get in there and defend the ball, and he and another defender blocked Bill Irwin from the ball. There's the shot right there. Irwin didn't have a chance, went right under his arm.
So Curlin with his second and third goals of the year. De Leon gets an assist. At 6:29 of the second. Ball being bandied about in center. And Miller takes it for Phoenix. Looks for Stephen David. Look out! That's too much room for Stephen David. And it is 3-0 Phoenix. David's 10th goal of the year.
Stephen David scored 58 goals last year. That was the third best total in the Major Indoor Soccer League. Played a couple of years outdoors for the Earthquakes. And he has 10 goals already this season.
So the Earthquakes have taken a timeout. Here's another look at it, and you see David's got the whole wing to himself. He just doesn't miss shots like that. Right through the legs of Irwin, who did all he could. He came down to cut down the angle, but David put it beneath him. And, of course, the keeper never likes to see that one go right through his legs.
David is so quick and he's so fast that this game is almost tailor-made for him. When he gets a one-on-one against the goalkeeper, you know that probably 20 out of 21 times it's going to go David's way because he has he has the opportunity, and he knows where he wants to put it, and the goalkeeper just has to hope that he guesses correctly or gets the angle on David perfectly.
I think the Quakes feel that David can be stopped, but you have to be on top of him to stop him. And if you give him that opening, he's a sharpshooter. And he's going to put it away, as we just saw. And that's a bit of the difference in this game. The Quakes have had one or two opportunities similar to that, where they've not been able to put the ball away. Earthquakes with a timeout here, 7:38 to go in the first half. And Phoenix leads at 3-0. You can hear Tony Samois here. Let's listen in.
Play without ball, man, okay? Let's be smart here. Very important. Don't give nothing away now. Right? Don't give nothing away now. Come on.
Great international star from Portugal, starred with the Benfica team there, and is a national hero in his home country, admonishing his players not to give one away.
To go, 3-2.
After the tackle by Powell, here come the Quakes in a 3-on-2. Godfrey Ingram, shot right on, rebound, off the post! Kelly hit the post with it. Godfrey Ingram, he makes things happen. Here comes the Inferno now. Stephen David out front. Look, fake shoots. Stephen David. He took on the whole team that time, and he beat them all.
The Earthquakes defense were expecting Stephen David. There were three of them back there, and David put a couple of moves on, had the ball centered right outside the box, and then just put on the move. He decided to go with the move, and just gets it inside the left corner of the goal.
He had everybody mesmerized there for a moment, waiting to see what he was going to do, so finally just wound up and shot it. Oh, Phoenix still has it.
The Earthquakes haven't been able to get those consistent outlet passes to get the counterattack going. They've been throwing it away too often, and now there are 4 defenders back, and there's no quick counterattack on this one either.
Etherington in front for Ingram, covered up by Silvera, number 21. 1:25 to go in the first half. This is Gorman out at center. Into De Leon. David out front with Etherington on him. Going to look at it there. McDermott pushes it for David. Save by Irwin. Outstanding save by Irwin, or David would already have the hat trick. David just doesn't waste any time. He smells goal, and he took that one and he tried to one-time it. Didn't have a whole lot on it, and Irwin made the kick save. Earthquakes dump it in. Earthquakes game has quite often been dump it in and chase it. Here's the counterattack to McDermott. Tony Powell is back. McDermott looks for the opening. Powell tackles it away from him. The ball comes to Dangerfield. 35 seconds to go, first half. So the Quakes' chances of getting on the board becoming slimmer and slimmer. Irwin clears it, and it's a 3-zone pass. So that's a violation, and we'll take it back to the red line for a free kick for the Phoenix Inferno.
Irwin looked like he didn't really know what he wanted to do there. If he would have just stepped back a minute, he would have been able to play and control the ball in the box. Instead, he put a little bit too much loft on it and sent it past the 3 lines.
18 seconds left, 4-0 Phoenix. D'Souza into the zone. Tierney brings it out. This is Willie Watson. And they're just content now to kill off the half, it looks like. The ball deflected out of bounds. Off Dangerfield. Kick in for Phoenix with 4 seconds remaining. Again at halftime, we're going to be chatting with Ron Newman, the coach of the San Diego Suckers. The Earthquakes' opponent at the Coliseum Arena this coming Wednesday night. And his club defeated by Phoenix last night in San Diego. Phoenix is playing awfully well. There it is. That's the hand. And a well-deserved ovation for the Phoenix Inferno. 2 goals for Curlin, 2 goals for David. Phoenix 4, the Earthquakes nothing. We'll be back with our halftime program after this. The Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, where the Earthquakes are trailing 4-0. It's been very bad news for the Earthquakes up till now, as the Phoenix Inferno has taken advantage of its opportunities. We've got Ron Newman, who saw the same thing last night at San Diego, shaking his head through that first test. That's what they did to us last night. They're doing it to the Earthquakes tonight. Ron, this club off to a good start. They look for real right now.
Well, they're very aggressive, very quick, and I look at the Earthquake players, Dangerfield and Etherington and players like this, are very quick players, and yet they don't appear quick because they don't appear to be reacting at the same speed as the Phoenix team, and this must be their magic, because the Phoenix team seem to be extremely quick, reading balls off the boards and reading rebounds off players' legs, and it seems that you can't score. It's like pulling teeth to get a goal out of the Phoenix team, because even though a couple of times we had the same thing as happened here in the first half, the ball looked practically in the back of the net, and you were watching the score go up on the scoreboard, when suddenly it's cleared from right on the line, and it looks like you just can't get the ball in their net.
On the other hand, when Phoenix has had the opportunities, they put them away. Sometimes when they didn't seem to have much of an opportunity, they put it away.
Yeah, if you look at the goals, I mean, the young boy scored the first 2 goals, and Steve David with a couple of toe prodders scored the other 2. And the young lad, it was a scramble for the first one, a second effort, great second effort on the lad, and the other one he missed, kicked a bubble through a lot of players. But in the indoor game, this is the way goals are scored, and I think maybe the Earthquakes, much like us, are still looking to get the perfect goal and not looking for the half chances.
Well, now you're down 4 goals at halftime. You're on the road, and this is your 3rd game in 4 nights as the Earthquakes are going through that experience right now. Is there a possibility for a ball club now to sort of get down and just get blown out?
Well, of course, I think what happens now, of course, is they've got to take chances to get back into the game, and with players like Steve David against you, you're always liable to leave yourself a little exposed at the back, and he'll take advantage of that. But if they can get one goal and then 2, then maybe the game would change. They need to get 2 goals fairly early, I think.
Very quickly, Ron, we're having to go on here, but your team, San Diego, in Oakland on Wednesday to play the Earthquakes. What about that game?
Well, I think it should be good. You know, 2 of the old rivalries going back a long way, and we'll look forward to it. And let's hope we catch San Jose a little bit down. Sorry, the Earthquakes a little bit down. And I suppose it's both teams are struggling to find their form.
Julie V, a great indoor player, he's been having some injury problems, though.
Yes, he's had a bad toe all season. Hasn't trained a lot all season, but I think every game he's playing, he's getting back into the condition he was last year. But I still maintain that I still believe that it'll be the Earthquakes and the Sockers vying for the championship at the end.
All right, well, there's a long way to go yet. Ron Newman, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much for asking me.
Ron Newman, the coach of the San Diego Sockers. We'll return to Phoenix with more halftime. The score, Phoenix 4, the Earthquakes. John Schrader back at halftime here in Phoenix. Bad news for the Quakes so far, down by 4 goals. John, what about the other games in the league tonight?
Well, the Cleveland Force, at least right now, have sole possession in first place in the Eastern Division with a 5-3 win over the Pittsburgh Spirit tonight. Kansas City Comets were down to Baltimore 3-2 at the end of 3. It is now 4-4 at the end of 4 periods. They're into overtime. If Baltimore wins that game, they stay within a tie with the Cleveland Force in the Eastern Division. If Kansas City wins, they're at 5-5 and into second place in the West.
All right, well, that first half, 4 goals down. Maybe we can recap just a little bit for those who have not been with us throughout.
It has been the Mark Curlin and Steve David show. Mark Curlin scored only a 2nd goal of the year on an assist by Peter Miller. That came at 13:05, just 1:55 left in the first period, and things really heated up in the second period. 3 Phoenix goals. The first one coming at 6:29. It was Curlin again on the assist from De Leon, his first of the year. And then Steve David got an assist from Miller, his 7th assist. Miller has 8 goals and 7 assists. That was Steve David's 10th goal of the year. And he came back a minute 38 later to score his 11th goal of the year on a great offensive move. Went by a couple 3 defenders and the goalkeeper. An unassisted goal. He has 2 goals, and Mark Curlin has 2 goals. The Earthquakes have none.
Well, remember now, this is, and we say this enough perhaps that you're tired of hearing it, but if you've seen a few games, you know that we're correct in saying this. The game can turn around in a big hurry. About 3 weeks ago in this arena, Phoenix down 6-3 to that Cleveland team. It's the only game Cleveland has lost this year. 5 straight goals by Phoenix, and they won it 8-7. So we've got a lot of indoor soccer remaining, and certainly this game is far from over. But the Quakes are going to have to get a little more cohesive, I would say, and that offensive end there's been a lot of breakdowns, perhaps to the credit of the Phoenix ball club, the Phoenix defense.
Well, the Quakes are having a tough time getting the ball out and counterattacking. The Inferno defense playing very well, and when they got up 2-0, 3-0, and then 4-0, they had the luxury of being able to get in the attacking zone, and they were hustling, going all out with 4 guys, and they had Willie Watson kind of hanging around in midfield to try and counter against that pass out. So when they were 4 goals up, they were in an even better position to stop the counterattack.
All right, John, we'll be back with the second half from Phoenix. The score, the Phoenix Inferno 4, Golden Bay Earthquakes nothing. Tempo that Phoenix has enforced in this game is one-touch passing. This is a beautiful goal by Steve David, and that's the reason you don't leave him unmarked or unguarded, because he scores when you say, see if you can score against us.
And like great goal scorers, he has men to assist him and men to give him the ball, and they have the feel for where he's going to be, and he's so quick and he's so fast. He can go down one-on-one, and he can play the passes, and sometimes he'll hang around the box there and have Miller and some of the other chaps there just ready to give him the pass and know where he is.
It's an Earthquakes ball moving from right to left as we start the second half. Etherington, Goosens, Dangerfield on the front line. Surveyor and Michael Carey on the back line. We've got a foul called on Albuquerque. Phoenix, free kick Earthquakes along the right wing board. Carey, number 14, over the ball. On top to Dangerfield. Dangerfield trying to go around. De Leon can't do it. Subier back at center. They'll start it in. 4-0. Phoenix in the lead as we start the second half. Here's Etherington. Back to the point to Subier. Now here's Etherington. De Leon with him. Goosens to Dangerfield. The bottom of the crossbar.
Here's the final score. Cleveland beat Pittsburgh tonight 5-3.
Earthquakes ball. Cleared out of bounds by Phoenix. Kick in for Golden Bay.
The second goal by Steve David was
A perfect time to enjoy the smooth taste of Budweiser is on the weekends. While you're doing your weekend chores or just relaxing, team up with the king of beers.
the ground party called the Jerry's Company. Remember when the Oxys go.
Here's Goosens. Can't really get the foot on it. Aniello had to come out of the penalty area. Foul called on Crescatelli. Jan Goosens just hasn't had the right foot working tonight. They've been able to keep him from getting one off. Here's Silvera. David wide open, but he lost the ball. David was wide open again, but that time he lost the ball before the shot. Crescatelli taking on the entire Phoenix team by himself now. Here's Goosens. Wide post. He missed it. Etherington. Now Carey back at the point. 11.5 to go. Third quarter. 4-0 Phoenix. Powell for Crescatelli, who's bumped off the ball by Strenitzer. They don't call it. The advantage rule perhaps invoked. Here's a shot by Etherington. Save on the yellow. Willie Watson. Cleared by Raduca. Comes to McDermott. Left point. Miller in the middle. Earthquakes setting a sort of a zone defense in front. Knocked down by Severe. Foul called on Willie Watson. So the Earthquakes get it back. Free kick. Hunter got knocked over by Watson. 7,992 of the paid attendance tonight here in Phoenix. And it's been a loud, lively crowd. Subier takes the free kick, and it goes over the head of Barney Boyce. McDermott to Aniello to start it from there. 47 seconds left in the penalty. Miller into the zone. Willie Watson fires. De Leon deflects it. Boyce comes to Miller. Into De Leon. Here's McDermott now. David in front. Goes for David. Comes to De Leon. Here's David. He scores! Nice shot by David on the far post. He one-timed it in midair. And he's got the hat trick. A power play goal for David, 5-0 Phoenix.
With all the confidence of a great goal scorer, David was there. De Leon gets the pass to him. But the pass came out to Steve David in front of the goal, and he was there. His third goal of the night, a dozen on the year, and he has 15 points total, a dozen goals and 3 assists. Here's the shot in the box. De Leon gets it over. There's David right in front, over past the defender and past Bill Irwin.
That ball came into David at about thigh high, and he just calmly lifted the foot up and plucked it home. So De Leon hitting the open man. He got into the penalty area. Defenders went to the ball, and De Leon went to David. 5-0. Earthquakes back at full strength, but here comes Oscar Albuquerque. Albuquerque to Curlin. Now Gorman in the middle to Albuquerque. Now Curlin back at the right point. Andres Masico is in the game for the first time, number 12. First hat trick of the year for Steve David. He had 6 hat tricks last year. Scored 58 goals last year, third highest goal total in the MISL. Here's Masico. 6 Lights is his nickname, from the Transvaal region of South Africa. Foul on Stephen Litt. Stephen Litt said something, and he gets a yellow card, a 2-minute penalty. Litt apparently said something to DiPolito. He expressed his dissent in a manner which DiPolito did not appreciate. So the Earthquakes will once again have to kill a penalty. This is the 3rd penalty of the night. Here's a look at that foul. Here's Litt going after the ball with Masico. Well, they bumped for it, going for the ball. I think that was the reason that Litt said something to DiPolito. They both went for the ball, and they bumped shoulders, and he's much bigger than Masico, and perhaps for that reason he got the foul. But getting a look at the replay, it's hard to see. But it was just a foul. When he said something that DiPolito didn't like, then it became a penalty. So the power play unit on for Phoenix, goes out of bounds, off Raduca, kick in for Phoenix. McDermott, David, Miller, De Leon, and Watson in there for Phoenix. Raduca, Boyce, Serbier, and Etherington, the penalty killers for the Earthquakes. 5-0 Phoenix. Here's McDermott. Cleared by Raduca. Boyce tries to dig it out. Foul called on McDermott. Free kick Earthquakes. A minute 36 remaining on the penalty to Stephen Litt. The penalty to Stephen Litt is expired, so the Earthquakes had the power play. Here's Goosens now. They've got Goosens with Crescitelli. Pass for Crescitelli. Off the board. It comes back. Crescitelli is knocked over, and a penalty, and Phoenix will be 2 men short. Albuquerque gets the penalty. Well, that was a blatant play there, no question about it. He's pleading for a penalty with that kind of a play. Here's a look at it. He just reached out and pushed him. Look at that.
And the ironic thing about it was Crescitelli had missed a shot at the ball before the play, before Crescitelli had been thrown down. So for the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds, the Earthquakes will be they will not.
The Earthquakes will have a 2-man advantage for 20 seconds, and then will be a 1-man advantage for the remaining minute 40. And get your calculators out now as the penalties start flowing. At any rate, here's the Quakes' chance to get back in the game. Goosens to Dangerfield. Now for Crescitelli. Handball in the penalty area. They say it was inadvertent. No penalty kick. 10 seconds on the 1 penalty. Goosens off the near board. Ingram scores! Godfrey Ingram scores in the rebound. It is 5-1, and the Earthquakes will still have a 1-man advantage minute 48.
Well, if the Quakes are going to get back into this soccer match, this is going to be the opportunity where they're going to be another minute 41 man up. And there are 4 goals down now and a great opportunity to get back in it. You want to see MISL soccer next Wednesday, the San Diego Sockers. Numbers 408-946-5020, 415-632-6000. Here's the replay on the goal. Ingram right there on the left side ready to put it in on the shot off the boards. And here come the Quakes again. Crescitelli in front.
Open net. Aniello cannot touch it with his hands out there. But Phoenix has it. Here's Peter Miller. Goossens with a sliding tackle. Beautifully done. Oh, they called him for a foul. They called Goossens for a foul, and the Earthquakes can't believe it because the Quakes had a 3-on-1 advantage. Aniello is hurting on the other end, it looks like. But we're back to action after the free kick. Quakes had a 3-on-1 waved off because of the foul. A minute 20 left of the power play advantage for the Earthquakes. This is their chance to get right back in the game. They need to score another goal while they have the man advantage. Trailing 5-1, 2:05 to go, third quarter. Dangerfield in the middle, Goossens right. And Dangerfield wanted to loft it off the glass above the goal, which is it's a gutsy play, but it has to be perfectly executed from that range. Goal kick. Minute 5 left in the penalties. Ingram, Crescitelli, Goossens on the front line, along with Hunter and Dangerfield. So the Quakes have 4 forwards in there right now. 55 seconds left on the power play. Here comes Dangerfield into the zone. Hunter. Now Goossens comes in, fires, and that one is well over the top. Goossens' aim has been off a little bit tonight. He's had a lot of shots that have gone out of play. 43 seconds to go, and the Quakes have not yet gotten a clear shot in this sequence.
The basic idea on the power play, Dangerfield is the leader. He's got a good left-footed shooter in Hunter on the left, a good right-footed shooter on Goossens, and 2 men who can score, Ingram and Crescitelli, hanging around in the box.
Crescitelli getting an assist on Ingram's goal. The 6th goal of the year for Ingram. This is only his 4th game. Goossens, Crescitelli and Ingram in the penalty area. Dangerfield lost it to McDermott. But Irwin out to center practically to start it back in. Only 15 seconds left in the power play. Quakes have not been able to develop much here. Carried over the bar by Aniello. A rocket of a shot from about 55 feet by Dangerfield. Again, trying to bang it in off the glass and create a rebound. Rebound. Hunter lost it. Ingram fighting with Miller, but Miller wins the ball. He's got a 3-on-2. Here's a shot, save, and a rebound, and a save by Irwin. McDermott with a one-time. Irwin gave up a rebound, but then covered up. 14 seconds left in the quarter. Seven seconds. Ingram, Etherington, 2 seconds. And there's the horn. So the Earthquakes still down by 4. We head for the final quarter. It's the Phoenix Inferno 5, the Golden Bay Earthquakes 1. With you from the Memorial Coliseum in Phoenix, and to look at some of the other games, Cleveland remains at the top of the East with a victory over Pittsburgh tonight, 5-3. Cleveland is now 7-1 in the Eastern Division, and Baltimore in overtime over Kansas City 6-5, and Baltimore now 8-2. As all but 2 of the teams in the Eastern Division are playing better than 500 right now, so they've got a good race going on over there. Baltimore, by the way, John won that game on a penalty kick in overtime, so that is quite a final. There's a look at the standings before action tonight. There's Phoenix at the top of the table, and John, we certainly know why they're there now.
Well, they came out with a quick early lead. They beat San Diego 5-6, and in second place, tied for second place in the West. Beat San Diego last night 6-4, had a 5-1 lead early. Tonight, they're up 5-1 going into the final 15-minute period. San Diego, St. Louis are now tied for second place. Kansas City loses tonight. They're 4-6. Golden Bay, Wichita 2-4. And Los Angeles, who finally won the other night after 9 straight losses, are 1-10.
It's the fourth quarter. 5-1 the score. Phoenix in the lead. Next Wednesday night at the Coliseum Arena, we hope to make your friends to be there as the Earthquakes meet the San Diego Sockers. It's an Earthquakes ball. Free kick after the foul. Tony Powell and Stephen Litt at the back line. Mike Hunter, Godfrey Ingram, and Tony Crescitelli up front. This is Crescitelli, number 13. Now to Hunter. He lost it. Oh. Litt went after Parchment, but lost it. Wide open, Stephen David on the right wing. Powell picks him up. David cushions it, but it comes to Stephen Litt. He makes a wild clearance, and D'Souza, number 2, goes
Even defensive ends of the field. To take a look at it here, it's down against the boards. You can't really see it, but Miller takes a kick right there. You can see the action. Litt stands up. Wait a minute, you call it on us, you call it on him, and the referee called it. We see a better angle here now from the end.
Well, he fell on top of the ball is what he did, and there you see him. Miller started kicking him, and they made the call. So the Quakes had a power play. Carried out in front. Here's Goossens. He shoots. He scores! Jan Goossens got the rebound that time. Ariano was up.
Shot by Goossens right on the right side of the goal, and it's now 5-2, and as you mentioned, just 6 seconds into that penalty. So the penalty is now off, and they'll both come back out and be 6 aside.
So the Quakes scoring in a hurry on the power play. "11 minutes left in the match now." The scoreboard had counted off some seconds there. There's a look at the third period statistics. And for the game now, the Earthquakes have 18 shots. Phoenix with 20 shots. That's before this quarter. The scoreboard was malfunctioning for a moment. They added 7 seconds that had, for some reason, been removed from the scoreboard. So now we're back to action. Steve David. Quakes are just a goal away from really being a threat in this game. Still 3 goals down right now. McDermott has it stolen. Here is Dangerfield to Goossens. Goossens, Ariano grabbed him, and they didn't call it. For a keeper in indoors.
When you're a man down, the field players can send the ball past 3 lines without retribution. However, the keeper can't.
Oh, it's off the post! Rebound, score! De Leon with the power play goal.
Take a look at the replay here now. He's on the rebound. Powell tried to send it back out. De Leon was in the box and sent it right past the diving Bill Irwin.
De Leon had 2 assists earlier, and now he has a goal, and against his one-time team, he's had a big night. Well, he just one-timed that rebound right in. 6-2. Both teams back at full strength. Phoenix taking the ball on the near board. Earthquakes trying to knock it loose. Ingram right down there with Gorman. Now Hunter trying to dig it out, and he does. Good hustle by Hunter. In the middle for Litt. Now Powell dumps it into the corner to Ingram. 6-2, 7:50 to go. And then Hunter kicks one 9 miles. And that one heading on its way to the Valley of the Sun. Well, Roger Thompson with not a whole lot to smile about right now. 5:52 to go. Here comes Dangerfield now. He's got Goossens out in front. Dangerfield scores! An impossible goal by Dangerfield. He scored it on the short side. That's the one the goalkeeper hates to see, because he is never supposed to be beaten on the short side, not from that angle. But Dangerfield fired a rocket and it found its way into the back of the net. The 9th goal of the year for Dangerfield. And it's a 3-goal game again, 6-3, with 5:43 left in the match.
Here's the replay on that goal. Watch the way it comes flying in, and it bounced. It looks like it just hit the corner of the goal and bounced behind Aniello, and that cut the lead to 3 goals.
They give Irwin an assist on that. Here comes Phoenix. This is Curlin off the board. David can't play it. David had a chance in front, couldn't get it. Earthquakes dig it out. Here comes Hunter. Again, another quick goal, and the Quakes are in the game. It is 6-3. That ball looked to me like it hit the board and then bounced off the arm of Aniello. Something you just don't have to contend with in the outdoor game. This is his first ever indoor game. Similar play happened to Irwin last night. Kelly with a shot right on. Good out of the Coliseum Arena. The high-flying San Diego Sockers there. Julie V. and company. Here comes David. Wide left. David had a step in his man, but he missed the goal for one of the rare times tonight. He has already scored the hat trick. Here's Strenitzer wide open. Scoring! Strenitzer with his first goal of the year, and he was wide open, and he hit the wide side. Nothing Irwin could do about it. Perfectly placed shot by the veteran Gene Strenitzer.
Strenitzer's first goal of the season. He took it there and did all the work himself, really. He got a pass to him in front of the goal, or on the right side of the goal, and Irwin didn't have a chance. It was a blazer.
So that should do it. 7-3 now, Phoenix. The first goal for Strenitzer. 1:20 to go in the match. Here's Crescitelli working hard. Aniello trying to get to the ball, and he finally does. Rolls it out to Gorman. Long one into the Phoenix bench. It'll be an Earthquakes kick-in.
These are the numbers you can call to get Earthquakes tickets. 408-946-5020 or 415-632-6000. Next Wednesday, the San Diego Sockers in town. Next Sunday afternoon, the Cleveland Force.
Right out in front by Hunter. And a foul is called. It'll be a free kick for the Earthquakes. Right near the corner kick spot there. Crescitelli, Ingram, Surbier, and Litt. It goes to Litt. Miskicks the ball. Cleared back out, and here comes Curlin. Surbier takes it. We're inside the final minute now. 50 seconds left in the match. 7-3 Phoenix. Curlin, who's got 2 goals. Here's Curlin. Wide left. Rebound. Crescitelli clears. Curlin looking for the hat trick. 30 seconds left in the match. Albuquerque back to center. And they're going to kill off the time. And the fans now, nearly 8,000 standing. Here's Gorman. He lost it. 10 seconds left. The Earthquakes down on a 3-on-2. Curlin gets back. 3-on-3. Here's Hunter. Save. There it is. It's all over. The Phoenix Inferno with their second very impressive performance in as many nights. And before nearly 8,000 people, they have put the Earthquakes away by a score of 7-3. We'll be back in Phoenix after this.